great stories. I completely forgot mine. Okay, it was September 1993, and I'm new to New York. I was new to New York, and I was looking for an apartment. I had just landed what I thought at the time was my dream job at a small but very prestigious biomedical research university. And I might have exaggerated a thing or two to get the job. So I had to put in long hours. I had no time to look for an apartment. In 1993, to look for an apartment, you had to read a newspaper. Well, unless you had a friend with a grandmother conveniently moving to Florida and living rent control. So it was a newspaper for me. Each letter cost money. So the ads were very cryptic. It's Thursday, that's when the real estate section came out, and I'm scanning the paper. The ad read SSAW/LB in EB, which obviously meant spacious, studio apartment with a loft bed in an elevator building. I called the landlord and I made an appointment for the same evening, and that's how I met Sal. Just imagine Tony Soprano, a bit smaller, tracksuit, gold chain, flashy Rolex, very large SUV with Jersey plates, and a lot of charisma. That was Sal. I didn't like the apartment much, but it was clean and cheap and very close to work. I took it. He did a lease right there, and then it was like a small piece of paper. I saw my name, I saw $800 a month. It's 93, so. So I took it and signed it and moved in next day. And we agreed that he will pick up rent every first of the month in cash. If I was not able to be home, I was to leave the cash wrapped in foil in the freezer. I thought it was a bit fishy, but I was desperate, and I decided to write it off as a New York thing. So a few months goes by. One night on first, I cannot be home. I leave the cash in the freezer. I come home that night late. My apartment door is ajar. I open it up. Everything I own is on the floor in bits and pieces. I could see kitchen. It was a small apartment. I could see the kitchen right on the floor. The foil I used to wrap the cash is on the floor, empty, by the refrigerator. I called Sal. He picked up, even though it was almost midnight, and he sounded like scared. Masha. Well, he had very low voice, so I'm gonna try to. Masha, what happened? I was afraid to go in. I thought you were redecorating. I only have one question: did you get the rent? He never actually told me if he got the rent or not, but he never asked me for the rent payment for that month. So I was like, good enough for me. Few days later, he dropped off a couple $100 for the inconvenience, and also my wedding ring. We got your ring back.
Oh no.
I did not want to ask any questions. I guess he liked that I didn't make too much stink about it. He called me and invited me for dinner about like next week. He said, Masha, I feel bad about what happened. Let me take you out. I'll show you where the boys eat. Who am I to say no? He picked me up after work and we drove downtown. It was Kenmore Street. The restaurant was nothing to write home about. I don't think it had a name like on the door. We went in. It's dimly lit. It's maybe 10-15 tables, black, black and red tablecloths. It was mostly occupied by men wearing tracksuit with Rolex. There was a card game going in the back of the restaurant. I had a distinct feeling everyone knew each other because people like nodded like discreetly, a couple of handshakes. Sal introduced me. He said, "This is Masha, my friend from uptown." I liked it. There were no menus. He said, Sal ordered for us and he said, take it, you'll like it. And I did. This is the first time I tried mussels. And the food was very nice. We started with a small chit chat and then we talked about, he invested in a movie about a year ago. And he told me about it, and the movie did well, and he was looking for another one. We talked about that. I was planning a trip to Vietnam, and we talked about that. And you know, it was nice. It was easy to talk to him. Actually, he was smart and fun, and I liked it. I guess he enjoyed our time together too. So we started having those dinners. Not very often, but maybe every 3-4 months. I didn't know his people, and he didn't know my people, so we could gossip as much as like we wanted. He talked about his family. His wife was sick. He had 2 sons. The firstborn, his golden boy. He was so proud of him. He was graduating. The younger one was a schmuck and always in trouble. And Sal was worried about him a lot. He talked about work, but not that many details. I talked about my work, the petty politics of non-profit was so much fun to discuss with him. I talked about my friend's drama, I talked about my dramas. I mentioned to him my parents are coming in town. He said, Masha, let me take you all out. I want them to know that you are safe, that you have someone to rely on in New York. Obviously, it had opposite effect on my parents. I have never seen them as uncomfortable. And I have to admit, I enjoy it. Sal knew I didn't like the apartment, so when the large one opened up, he offered it to me, and he even had his guys to help me move, which was nice. And I stayed in his apartment for many years. Even after I moved in with my boyfriend, who, by the way, he met and approved. Even after, we kept in touch. And last time I spoke with Sal was about 10 years ago. You know, life goes on, we get busy. I Googled him just now when I started writing it. And he's still around, still in the same place in New Jersey. His younger son has passed. His older one is a doctor has a practice right next to him. I read the reviews, he's good. I don't know how to finish the story. I miss him. I miss Sal. I miss I miss this chemistry. I miss the fact that you can make a friend, my ability to make a friend in completely strange situation. And I just try to do it again and again, like, just to be open to everything. That's it.